I told this to Brian like a couple days ago when we were training. I was like, Brian, I'm starting to have like that blood in the water feeling like all day long. And yeah, I don't know, just like you know, kind of like you wake up and like you have like intent, and you know you have to get something done, and you know, it's just very, and especially, you know, coming back from Florida and getting back in my routine, you know, I'm back in my house, everything's 100% on point. Yeah, it's starting to be that home stretch. So, you know, this the spot I'm in right now, doing what I'm doing, there's so much room to adjust. You know, there's food so high, the cardio so low, the training is so intense still. You know, it's we have a lot of room to play with, and I'm already in a pretty good spot. So it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. This is pretty.
What's up, man?
This is pretty cool.
Win today. It's pretty cool.
Training that later. All right.
I thought that was for me.
Is it like a nightgown?
It's more like a tent.
Like a nightgown for you?
Yeah, it's more like a tent. You know, in terms of presentation, it's one of those things that nowadays is really getting a lot of attention. It's being discussed a lot again. You know, for a while there in the 90s, it seemed like we had lost our way as a sport where the presentation is concerned. And whether you agree with me or not that posing is art, that it's an art form, whether you agree with that or not, one thing that we all have to agree with is this, is that posing is essential to presentation. Okay, and if you pose well, you will present well, you will show the results that you have from the gym to the best of your ability at the best angles, and you will score higher. Okay, so if you think that you're going to just work out and then get up there, you know, and do a caveman routine, you know, with half a dozen poses, it's not going to work well in your favor. You know, so I believe that presentation is very important. As a bodybuilder, I think of myself as an artist. We work in flesh and not clay. But it's when we actually get up on the stage, we present our bodies. It's a presentation. And it's not just a static pose. It's not just the double bicep, the front lat spread, okay? It's also transitions, transitional posing. In other words, you have the static poses that you hit, but you have the transition, and a transition is a dynamic pose. It is a moving pose. And if you can't do that, you're not going to show your physique to the best of your ability. So that's what I think, and I think that presentation and posing is very important.
I 100% believe, you know, he hit it on the head. Regardless of where you lie on, you know, your posing routine, you know, be it, you know, it's something that you just kind of slop together last second or freestyle, or, you know, you spend a ton of time really creating and perfecting and, you know, truly, you know, putting together something cool. If you can't present your physique properly, at least in the mandatories, as if you can't pose well, you are not going to do as well as you would have if you could. So for people to completely ignore posing, it's like ignoring your cardio or something. It's never made sense to me. You know, it's like these people, they'll go and they'll do, you know, like doubles on the stairs every single day and train for 2 hours and eat, you know, chicken and asparagus like for 5 meals a day. Those poor souls. Just trying to get in shape for a show, and they never ever pose, and they look like a deer in the headlights, you know, having like an epileptic seizure on stage, you know. And it's like, it makes no sense. You suffered so much and spent so much money to do what? To completely blow it on something that was completely under your control? It doesn't make any sense to me. And that's at the amateur level. For you to not be able to pose at the pro level, that's I mean, you're just poor at your job. It's your job.
Or lazy. Or lazy.
Yeah. He feels pretty strongly about it. I feel pretty strongly about it too, just in a sense, you know, it's like when people put time into their posing routines, it creates a certain value about a bodybuilding show. It gives people reasons as fans to come see, you know, a bodybuilding show. Look at the Arnold this past year. Look at the routines that Sergio and Terrence did. You know, both those routines, you know, like they were awesome. You know, like they were captivating. You watched them They, you know, the whole time it had your attention, and you felt like you were watching something out of like the 90s. You know, they put the time into it, they perfected the routines, they had the physiques to go with it. You know, that was really cool to see. I'm really looking forward to what we bring you on Tampa. It's gonna be cool. We're actually gonna get started on the routine tonight. We finally, you know, we spent probably like 2 weeks, you know, going through different music, cataloging all the poses, you know, getting a list of all the poses that I hit well and that I looked good in, and, you know, going from there, creating strings, and then, you know, plugging the strings into the song that we eventually landed on. So we'll actually get to that for the first time later tonight, and we'll give you a little sneak peek at that. But yeah, posing, it's coming back.
You got plenty of size. What's going to do
Getting
is
dug out.
getting dug out. I like that, getting dug out.
Getting dug out.
Yeah. Crispy.
Well done.
Well done.
Burnt.
Shredded. Well done. Shredded. Peeled. Crispy. Fatless. Dry.
Alright guys, so we are up here at Lone Star Barbell Club. Y'all might recognize the space. This is where I was training whenever gyms were shut down here in Texas. They were a private facility that hadn't really opened to the public yet, and family friends of ours, so it was a very private environment. But now that things are back up and running in Texas, I definitely want to give them a little shout, because this place is where I was able to hit that awesome rebound that I got whenever you know, all the shows first started getting canceled, and, you know, had a place to train through all of the lockdown. So big shout out to them, big thank you to them for that. Back here today to train back, just because I really like training back here. The owner, Ron, and his son Matthew, they have a really good, you know, lineup of equipment here. And they have this really cool homemade, like, banded deadlift platform that if you watched any of the training from quarantine, y'all have seen before. But yeah, so we're gonna pull on that at the end. I really like how that feels. They have the Arsenal chest supported T-bar that we really like, and then really nice lat pull down that has a good feel. And yeah, so we're about to get after it. It's nice. It's only 91 degrees today in the gym. Normally it's like 98 or 100 at this point, so hooray for cool weather. But yeah, gonna finish rolling out and we will get to it. Keep in mind that gyms are open in Texas. We could have trained anywhere we wanted today, and what I'm getting at is it doesn't take a ton of equipment. You know, I honestly made the best gains of my life in this little space during quarantine, probably. And, you know, granted, like, some of the upper body stuff, you know, it's got a bunch of great prime stuff, but, you know, by and large, like, all of the back sessions, and my back's arguably what improved the most in the last 6 months. We use nothing but, you know, like dumbbells, barbells, and, you know, like a cable station that you see us doing like everything on. So it's you don't need a ton of stuff is what I'm getting at. And you know, like I said, I could have trained like any gym that's around right now because everything's open, but, you know, I wanted to train here today. And you best believe, being 7 weeks out from a show, I'm not training anywhere unless I believe it's the absolute best option for me. So just wanted to kind of point that out, as it doesn't take a lot. You know, it just takes a mindset, the intensity, and then it does take a certain amount, obviously. I'm not trying to say you don't need equipment, but yeah. I really want to buy one of these and just like hack it to pieces and have a bench right there. Just something that'll go across your lap like this, go way back there, and be able to adjust it like back and forth. And you gotta think about the way the lat is here and wraps around the back. So the angle being in line with the line of pull of the muscle. You know, you're not in the line of pull with your lat when you're underneath, like a lot of lat pull down. So that's why in most videos you see us do any kind of lat pull down work, we'll be in some kind of setup like this, or with the incline bench way back. You'll leave that line of pull actually in line with the lat, which is what we're trying to take.
I will tell you that I'm probably one of his toughest critics. You know, being his father, you know, I just kind of give him the unvarnished feedback, and I don't know that he always appreciates it at the moment, but I think that later he thinks about it, you know, and that it you know, it may be one of those things that helps him, you know, to target specific things. You know, I think he's done a phenomenal job of exceeding my expectations at each level. Because I will tell you, when he stepped up to the national level, you know, it's like, okay, how's he going to do at this level? And lo and behold, you know, he kept improving. And when he won the nationals, he was a clear winner. You know, and then I thought to myself, okay, well, how's he going to do as a pro? And you know, he's made such terrific gains since nationals. It's just night and day. You know, and he's really just stepped up, and I know that he's going to not only be able to or stand next to those guys, you know, but I think there's people that are going to be in for a surprise.
Looking like probably end up being probably 12 to 15 pounds heavier than the nationals look, and even better conditioning. This morning I woke up at 263 fasted. So you know, all jokes aside, the nationals prep, I think I started at 268 fasted. So if that's any indication. I've definitely been growing on this prep, because you know, this prep we started at 271 fasted, 272 fasted. It was, you know, a lot fluffier than I am now for sure. So you know, it couldn't have gone any better. That quarantine ended up being a good thing. You know, bounced back, got a good little rebound off of it for sure. And yeah, so like I said, locked and loaded coming down the home stretch. Looking forward to it.